Professionalism in the nail business. How you look, how you dress, what are you talking about? What kind of music do you have going on in the salon? What's appropriate? What isn't? We're going to talk about all of this right now on the Biz Talk.
What's funny is I
Tracy?
quickly looked at us to see what we were wearing. I'm like,
well, I was going to say, I think the way you talk, the music that you listen to here, the things that you do at Young Nails, questionable on professionalism. I'm going to file a complaint. Going to HR.
I am just following the lead of our CEO. So, reflection.
Yeah. Okay. So, this is an interesting topic. At first, when you mentioned it, I was like, do we actually really need to talk about this?
We actually really need to talk about this, yes.
Okay. Well, that was clear after yourself and Stephanie was giving me examples. I was like, we do need to talk about this. I think this is huge. What is going on exactly? Like what are we seeing in the nail industry as far as professionalism is concerned? And let's just be clear here. When we're talking about professionalism, we're talking about like how you look, how are you dressed? What's the environment, right?
What's the image you're putting forward?
Right. Of your brand. Mm-hmm. What is that image?
And I like that. It's your brand.
Right. And this is a real interesting one because, for like me, I believe in being yourself, right?
Absolutely.
And for your brand. And like, I'm very much myself here and even on social media, but there obviously there's a line. If there wasn't a line, it would be a problem because sometimes the way that we act here is a little insane, but we keep that
contained.
Keep it contained.
But even we have dress codes and stuff. I mean,
right.
we are in the fashion industry.
Right.
There was a point where like, no ripped jeans, no. And it's like, hold it. I think the guideline said we had to wear pantyhose. I'm like, my 72-year-old mom, I'm sorry, Mom, I just told your age, does not wear pantyhose. So no,
right.
So we are in the fashion industry, but I think what happens is people get very comfortable. And especially when you own your own, or maybe you're following the example of the owner, and before you know it, they look really nice when they first start, and then slowly it fades into this. I always say it's like they got kidnapped and thrown in the trunk of their car and taken to work. Like the hair's in the pony up here, not brushed, no makeup, and they just fall into this comfort zone.
Yeah,
like no one cares, but they do.
So like everything you just said right now, right? Dressing up gives me mass anxiety.
That's why you have the uniform.
That's why I have a uniform. I have one pair, I have like one t-shirt, one color t-shirt, like 20 of the same. I actually have this, and I have like 3 or 4 pairs of jeans. I have different colored socks, a few pairs of shoes, because I don't want to think about it.
You're so lying.
Huh?
So lying. A few pair of shoes?
That I've been wearing lately. This
guy has more shoes than I do.
It's not true.
It is totally true.
Okay, so I differentiate maybe by socks and shoes.
Okay.
That's how I differentiate.
Yes.
But for the most part, I keep it simple because I just want to have a consistent, look that I don't want to think about. This is just me. I go with a uniform.
Right.
Not everybody needs to do that, but
super easy, right?
Right.
You're not thinking, and I think that's what happens with some techs is they go on to this I don't want to think about it mode, but they're going from sweats and
yeah.
So if you're that type of person who doesn't have time, you have kids, you have to make breakfast and lunches and all that,
uniform,
get a uniform, get something that is just one look and wear it every day. It's better than wearing your pajamas.
Yeah. And then I'll go with, and granted, I know it's easier for guys than it is for women. Like, I get it, right?
It's true.
I don't have to be concerned about makeup or all this. So I get that. Not that you have to wear makeup every single day to work, right?
Mm-mm.
But what you're saying is clean,
presentation.
yeah, presentable,
Personal.
right?
Yeah, look like someone might want to sit across from you.
What you're talking about is like you've seen texts where it is like it's
Scary.
legit scary.
It's scary.
Yeah, like if I walked in and my do was all this and I didn't brush my teeth and
It's pretty much, oh crap, what time it is, and then just roll right out.
literally
what time
roll
is it?
out in.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's important. Like you're running a business.
You're running the business.
You're seeing people all day long. And here's the thing, even here at Young Nails, we're not seeing customers all day. We are on social media every single day.
Yeah.
Right. So obviously our customers are seeing us in that sense, which is why I try to have some sort of like basic guideline. Don't look like you're kidnapped and thrown in the trunk of your car. You've got to be presentable in the salon. I think that's super important.
I like what you said. It's your brand. Like, would you pay a marketing company and that's what they come up with? This is your look. And it's
This is the kidnapped
this
roll
is
out of trunk
the
look.
I need change look.
Yeah. No, you wouldn't.
No.
Right?
No.
That's a simple answer. Going with clean. Now let's talk about conversation, music also, because if you have your own salon suite, right? And you can play whatever you want and you can talk about whatever you want and there's nobody in there, like how do you
And something that they all kind of start out good on, and it just slowly starts to, oh, my clients don't mind, but what about the other people in the salon? If you get in my car, it's nothing I would ever play in a salon. It would not be appropriate. In salon, I played something that doesn't have to appeal to your great grandma. Something that everybody can enjoy.
Sure.
And there's a lot of music that doesn't have to be profanity or anything like that. Something that almost 99% of your clients could come in and go, I enjoyed that.
Cool.
Or not even notice it, really.
Well, there's also like now you can go on to like a Spotify or Pandora and pick these playlists that are like, like if you're into, like me personally, I love hip hop. I would grab something with like, and I love beats. Yeah. So I would go with, instrumental beats.
Yeah.
Even that's just my vibe, something that's kind of funky and has that vibe, but everybody can kind of enjoy low volume. You can just kind of bop your head to a little bit.
Yeah. You're not sitting there cringe every 5 seconds as they're saying something,
right.
Something, and you will not please everybody.
Of course.
Because someone could come in and say, I don't like that hip hop music that you're listening to, Habib, but it's appropriate. So
yeah.
nothing
So it's
wrong with
fine.
it. Yeah.
Exactly. So there's that line. So here's one that to me is way more complicated. It's conversation, because this is something that we talk about a lot. I've heard Greg say it all the time. It's like going to your therapist when you go to a nail professional. How do you, if it's you, let me back up. In a salon, it's a little more obvious, right? Like you can't in front of all these people where they're listening to your conversation. You got to keep some sort of like lid on it.
Right.
Or how do you deal with that in a salon setting? Like full people, how do you deal?
I've had it where people were talking about things that just, I went to this party and I was going to kick her, butt. And like, this is the tech talking.
Oh.
And I'm like.
Oh, wow. Okay.
My move, and they all kind of got used to it, was I'd get up with the phone, because it was back when you had phones.
Right.
And I'd go outside. And they knew, oh, I'm about to get a phone call.
Oh, you'd call them directly and be like, hey.
Yeah, you gotta. I don't know how you're gonna redirect it with your client, but you gotta stop. You're dropping F-bombs. You're obviously making people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
So you gotta figure it out.
So, okay, what's controllable? Obviously, you as the nail professional, you can help control that. You've got to be conscious of what you're talking about in the salon. Now, what if it's coming from the client side and they're like, well, I come here to relax and I come here to chat and talk. How do you deal with that?
If it's a salon, everybody is coming here to chat and to relax, and we want all of you to be able to do that. And one can't take the piece from another. And if it was the shoe was on the other foot, we would have to handle it too. But as of right now, it's just it's making some people feel uncomfortable. And I'm sorry, or you can just, a lot of times you can redirect the conversation. Client gets it without actually even having to say anything.
Right. So I love that strategy, actually, just trying to redirect the conversation. Not, please don't talk about that right here in front of all these people.
Shut up.
You're not going to go that far, right?
No.
Yeah. So just be slick about it.
Yeah.
Like just redirect.
Even put it on yourself.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, I think I said that a little loud and I know people can hear. Whoops, I don't want to offend anyone. Put it on yourself.
That's good.
And the client picks it up.
Yeah. That's actually a good strategy. What about in a salon suite where it's just you and the customer? Does anything go at that point, or?
It really has to depend on you. What are you comfortable talking about? Because you're not going to offend anyone else. Obviously, it's the client that is leading the conversation. So are you comfortable with that conversation? Now, if you're not, you're going to have to be able to tell them. I know, some people have mentioned it. Like, how do you get a client to stop talking about something that's really making you feel uncomfortable?
Yeah.
And you can either try to redirect it, hope they get the hint, or sometimes you just have to say, I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, there are some people, no matter how much redirecting you do,
you're dropping the bombs on them like, hello.
You're literally like, you've got a megaphone and you're like trying to redirect everything except for please don't say that. You're trying to guide them. They don't see it. Yeah. Do you have a conversation with your client at that point? Like, and just say, hey, look, I mean, that's there's nobody in the room. It's just you and the client.
Yeah, but if it's not something because the people get personal with you sometimes. They want to know like deep things about you, whatever it is. And it's just like, you know what? I'm just not comfortable talking about that. Let's talk about something else. What are you doing for vacation or whatever?
Yeah.
You don't have to be mean about it. Like, I can't believe you'd bring that up.
Yeah. I almost think also you try to redirect. Maybe you can, like, that's a tough one. For me, it would be tough to stop and tell a client, look, I'm not comfortable talking about that. Can we talk about it? That's just awkwardville, right?
Yeah,
like super, super awkward.
I don't think some of the things they tell us.
I can't even imagine, but I'm just saying that's hard. That's a very, very hard conversation. So maybe I'm trying to think, like, maybe it's a situation of you try to not engage in the conversation and then you try to redirect it in another way. And then if they're just like you can't handle it, do you just not have the client anymore? Fire the client?
I've gotten rid of a client for what she kept on talking about. Like, I just couldn't do it anymore.
And did you have a conversation with her?
I chickened out. No. That was in the beginning.
That was in
the beginning.
Okay, but see, that's what I'm talking about. It's hard. It'd be hard, right?
Yeah, but I've had to tell people.
You've
done
that.
Sorry, you please don't cuss. But I think too that if they know you and see how you act in the salon, they will kind of follow your lead. So again, you have to
you got to set the example.
Yeah. They'll get the feeling of like, oh, this is making her uncomfortable, especially like you said, if you're not responding to it, you're not egging it on at all.
Right, exactly. And then eventually, if you're so uncomfortable at that point, if you can afford it, if you're able to, you maybe want to like replace the client with somebody else.
Yeah.
I think the best advice is what you just said, which is like they'll follow your lead, right?
For the most part, yep.
In everything.
Yep.
So, even in salon with other techs, like if it's your salon, your environment, you got to show up professional.
Got to show up on time. You got to look professional. You have to be setting an example as far as music and conversation. If you aren't doing that, there's no way you can come to an employee and say, your dress isn't appropriate. How can you say that?
That's right.
I'm the owner. I've heard, people, I'm the owner.
So
it can't be. You have to lead by example.
It's kind of an insane thing to say, I'm the owner. Actually, yeah, you should be the best example of professionalism. I think too many people misunderstand what it means to actually be an owner, right? it doesn't give you permission to not show up on time, to do what you want, to tell people what to do, to dress how you want. It's actually the complete opposite. Like I feel so much responsibility in the things I do here. You know what I mean? Yeah. When it comes to how I work, the amount I work, obviously the reason why I have a uniform is because I'm not somebody that wants to get into like, I want to dress stylish every single day to work. And for me, I don't want to think about it. So I go with black on black and I keep it super simple. Yep. Brush my damn hair, or I wear a Young Nails hat. Like that's it. And then on the work side, I'm literally trying to outwork every single person here at the company, right. And it's because I feel a responsibility. I want to show a good example. I don't ever want people to say, well, Habib doesn't do that.
Well, this just happened. I'm going to rat out Shane and Katie. I think we were having an OWC a couple weeks ago, mm-hmm. and I wanted to join in on what you guys call Cute Week. And the only shoes that went with this outfit was these the open-toed shoes.
Okay.
And we have a closed-toed policy around here because right. we're in and out of the warehouse.
Manufacturing.
Yeah. And so I'm going to wear them because I'm going to be over there. I'm going to be, the OWC or whatever. Man, they were on me. Like
when you walked in the warehouse?
No, when I walked into the building next door. I didn't go in the warehouse. Katie and Shane were like, so are those acceptable now?
Ah.
Lead by example.
That's right.
I'm like, can't wear those again. So.
That's right. General manager. They're yep. like, she's
on
wearing them.
Yep. And they were, boom, both of them. Saw Katie first. Oh, so we can wear open-toe shoes now? Turn the corner, see Shane. We can wear. I'm like,
Can't wear those shoes anymore.
Can't get away with it.
Unless you're going to make it
a rule,
right? If we're going to make it a policy across the board. So I think the bottom line here is, yes, you got to be professional. You as the nail tech, the owner of your own business, you have to be an example for your clients. Mm-hmm. You got to be an example for other techs in the salon. If it's your salon, you definitely have to be an example. What conversations go on? You need to have conversations either with your clients or other techs about these things. I think transparency and communication, it really is everything. I mean, yep. I try to do that here. If I'm not feeling comfortable, conversation with you. If there's something bothering me, I'm going to call you, or I'm going to walk in the office and say, hey, I want to talk to you real quick.
Midnight, yes.
Yeah, midnight. Or anybody. No, how many times have I done that with you? Like yep. we got to talk. Like, yep. I'm not happy with this. I'm not happy with... Yep. Or on the flip side, if I like something, I also express that. Oh my God, that's amazing. Your nails. I love them. My favorite. Like every single time. Right?
My favorite. Yes, exactly. It plays both ways. And I would say too, like, just because maybe you have an owner that is not leading by example, don't fall into that. You will set yourself apart if you are professional, especially if you're trying to build. People will take notice.
I love it. Let us know your take on this topic, professionalism. Do you think it's cool to just roll in sweats if it's your business? Should you be able to just come when you want, smell how you want? All of these things, right?
All the things.
Just professionalism in general, in all seriousness, like, it's really important. Let us know your take in the comments below on this subject. With that, say thank you very much for joining us. See you next week on the Biz Talk.